Simiah. You tune into Mind Power Composition, representing hip hop. Conducted my first musical item, which was a PC when I was about 17 when I started college. That's it really. So I picked it up myself, went to college, learned people, stressed the fuck out. I had to make 3 beats to get to university. I didn't have a fucking clue how to do it, and then I managed to make them 3 beats and then copy someone's final major project to get into university. I managed to flag it. Got there. I acquired my PC just through saving up. My old man, saved up. My old man helped me get the money together. Got a little sound card, little turntable, sampling records and shit. The learning curve was pretty quick at the beginning because I just got to know it all because I'd listened to hip hop for so many years, and I was way more into beats than into anything else really. Just focusing on the beats. So college helped as well. Definitely, they help you open up your ears, man. So that's cool. Yeah, PC. I didn't. To master it, I didn't really. I got pissed off and started buying hardware because computers are shit and they do my head in. No offense to people who use computers. I feel that it's definitely the right piece of gear to get started because it's a different fit. It was quite a few years ago now, so I didn't see anybody using drum machines and shit. I was living in a little village, and like I didn't see anybody do anything really. I just was at college, see people using the S950, and I still didn't understand any of that shit. I didn't understand anything. So yeah, at the beginning I reckon it was kind of cool, and I got to grips with seeing block pieces of sound where you could put them together like puzzles. But yeah, it was cool. Good. The equipment I'm using now is the 2500, the MPC, and it is the shit for me basically. I like it. I got familiar with it. Equipment I used over the years, so I used a 1000 for 3 or 4 years, I can't remember now, and then in 2010 I switched over to the 2500, bought it on eBay, and the cunt never sent it to me whilst everyone was telling me it was never going to come. I need to get my money back after 2 months. The day before I was going to get my money, it finally arrived in the post, and then I never stopped using it. I use it every day when I can. Well, out of a choice of hardware or software, it's definitely hardware. Why? Because of the warmth, the feeling, the clarity, where I've learned from, and the people that I've studied and that I've aspired to, and my peers have always just taught me like hardware. Just you have more hands-on feel, more of your soul passes through it. Just for me, it just feels better. But I still rate a lot of people that rock out Fruity Loops for a reason. It's about your ears, not what you're using. But for me personally, it's always hardware. Always. My favourite brand would be Akai, because it's just classic shit. But the 2500 has broken so many fucking times, and I feel that the newer shit, once they sold it over to Newmark, they let the squad down, and my shit is just constantly having to be sitting in the corner being fucking broken or getting buttons replaced. And my boys, they have like old equipment, old 2000 XLs, and you can drop that thing on the floor pretty much and it's still rock. And I just feel that they're a dope company, but they should have made it like a tougher machine. They should have made the same components and made it with the same love that they did with that. But it's cool though. It works for me, so it's all good. Music I would recommend to a beginner. It depends on what kind of person you are. Sometimes I think you get different types of people. So I reckon I would always say just get like a drum machine. Maybe try getting something, get a turntable drum machine, a little ghetto computer or something to outboard onto, and then that's it. Just do that, because you get a lot of people who are trying to reach a hip hop sound, and it takes a long learning curve. like with a computer, and it does take a long time for you to get that sound, which is why I kind of sacked it off at the beginning. Really, I wasn't feeling it. It's just too much of a head fuck. So yeah, I would go for a drum machine or something that you felt comfortable with, or like a keyboard or sampler in or whatever. But yeah, definitely hardware I would recommend. I chose hardware over software because it's just easier. You can get your ideas out easier, things can happen, and you can make, at the beginning of the process, when you learn, you're way more digitally tapped into a computer. With hardware, you go through this process of making so many mistakes, and before you know it, you've made so many mistakes, and suddenly you've had multiple epiphanies where you realise those mistakes are actually things that are meant to happen, and you learn from all of that, and you just kind of find your way through like fucking up. And then that was it for me. For years I've just been like, fuck, I'm making all these mistakes. Little did I know they were just the right things to do, and eventually I got to a point where I felt I was comfortable with what my sound was and where I was going with it all, and trying out different things. So yeah. My views on sampling. I have been brought up through culture and just from my way through digging through crates and just spending every last penny that I've ever had on shit to sample and buying hip hop records and DJing. It's like vinyl is the biggest, most important thing to me in my vinyl collection. Is just like my little kids. It's like shit, I spent every fucking penny I've had on my records, man. So yeah, just sampling records is key for me. The music I find sampling most is definitely jazz and soundtracks, like orchestrated shit, because it's just what I feel most attuned to, what I enjoy the most, what I would definitely sit back and kick. It wouldn't be just making a beat, I would sit there and listen to jazz records for hours, and suddenly you go through and suddenly you find breaks and shit like that, and it's just the most, especially jazz fusion shit, to home it in on that. Yeah, jazz fusion, that would be it for me. Just like that old 67 to 70 shit. It's just ill, just so much weird shit, and it just seems to paint so many different pictures but still be put into the same genre. I kind of associate it with hip hop the most, because it's just some dope shit. I do share my sample info with my crew, and generally when I used to get high all the time, I wouldn't have a fucking clue what I just sampled from the night before, and I put it back in my crate, so I'd never ever remember. And I don't remember a lot of the things that I sample. Basically, I just grab a record, put it down. I might be able to pick out a few breaks here and there, but for all the hundreds and hundreds of records I've got, I really don't remember what I flipped at all. Just kind of an amnesia process, which kind of works for a film, but I get busted, so it works for me. But yeah, I love to go through records with my homies and go through breaks and show them what you've used and show them how you flipped it and stuff. It's a positive thing, man. I get my samples just from vinyl, strictly vinyl, digging. That's it. Favourite sampler would be the SP1200, because it sounds like the shit when Pete Rock used it on the Soul Survivor album. That is the best, the shit. And you know, a lot of people get a lot of creative sounds out of that, but when you do it right, it just sounds so ill. And then favourite software, I don't know, I don't really have one, but I guess when I was using Logic and stuff like that, I guess that's kind of cool. It's a bit fucking fiddly, but yeah, it's cool, it's good, it works, it's simple. I focus more on the samples, definitely getting that shit together, making sure that everything fits right, but the drums are still the most integral part, because it all has to fit around that, so you can't really say both. But yeah, mainly the samples, just to get it right, to feed the loop right. But yeah, that's it, definitely the samples. The best current MPC, I would say biasly, would be the 2500, but only because I've never really used any of the other ones. But I really rate the Renaissance shit. I think it's fucking not my cup of tea. And I would also say that I'm gonna say the MPC, like the MPC 60, I reckon. The sound of that is just ill as fuck, raw, so raw. And if you got one, give me one. Favourite musical instruments are, I thought about this last night, the harp and the Rhodes keyboard. That sound, that's my soul right there. And then I can play the clarinet like a 5-year-old, which I used to play that back in the day and was shit. And then I can just about bust a few keys out on the keyboard. Sweet. If I could learn to play anything, it would be the harp. That's what I am going to play. By next year, I'm going to buy myself a fucking harp and I'll make my pee, buy a harp and play that shit. So, if I could pick 2 producers to work with on a joint, one of them would be Hubert Davis from Germany, and then the other would be J Dilla, like every other motherfucker said in this interview, basically, I reckon. If I could handpick 2 MCs out of my choice, out of the world, I would pick Big L and Big Pun. Top 3 producers, I would say Madlib, because he has touched on every element and surface of just hip hop and music and kept it so rugged and raw since day, and he's never really disappointed me as a producer. I think sometimes some producers have, and you kind of like, when you focus on someone so much, then they kind of fall off. My other 2 would be Debris or Dabra, because he just come with such a different sound, and it was fucking ill. That shit he did with AG and that 1-3 was fucking unbelievable. The other producer would be probably Dave Sparks from Switzerland, because he's just ill. He's got a bad out. If you don't know about that dude, definitely go check him out. He's sick as fuck. Yeah. Who am I feeling right now? I'm feeling my boy Sam Zerkon. He just comes through with a different type of baggy shit, and then he's just got an amazing sound, and it's a different vibe. And he's a good homie as well, and he's just, yeah, he's well influential. He's coming through with a totally different sound. And also I reckon 1-2 WNTWO, he is from Germany. I think he's from Cologne, and I'll rate his shit massively. And it's been, to find somebody in the current years who can still like make a 2-bar loop rock so hard, and then make an album with practically like 4-bar loops just on the rock, and it just consistently banging it every week since like last year. I just rate the dude highly, man. He's got an ill sound, an original sound as well, and you can hear his influences, but you can pick it apart, and I just think he is ill. He's fully ill. This joint is from my second release on vinyl, but my first digital thing that I put out to get on through KingUnderground, and it's called Purple, and it was an ode to something that I have a thing called synesthesia, which is where I see music as colours, and in like 2010 I started to notice that I started seeing a lot of colours everywhere that in a 3D perception that actually weren't there. And to make me feel better and to make me feel chilled, I made this joint, and like a lot of people love this tune, and it made me feel grounded basically. And it was the first time music with colours, and then made a whole EP called Purple Dreams basically, and it was the start of a lot of shit basically, a lot of music and colours and painting with music. That's what I do. I kind of feel like I'm painting more than I'm making beats. That I'm in this world and I'm in this zone, in this machine, and through this button here, when I'm making beats, in my own vision, when I feel like I'm making music, it starts to spit colours out, so I can know what type of music I'm making, what kind of vibe I'm on. And it doesn't happen all the time, but when I'm really in the zone, it kicks the fuck off and I trip out, man, and it's cool. It's been going on for about quite a few years, about 4 years now, and now 2014, when my new album comes out, it's going to be called Colour Point, coming out of KingUnderground. There's a lot there that's going to tell a lot of the story, so that's about it. And then to break it down, I cannot honestly tell you for my life what it is that I flipped, but it's I can't actually remember what record it was. Here's the sample. And then just chop that. Just chop the shit out of it and made this. Put the bass over. Single drum hits that I collected off records and just flipped it. Some other like little vocal samples as well. That shit from, I think that's a Sarah Vaughan thing, I think it is.
Smoking, drinking.
Some other shit. Just loads of, like, I usually work with like taking lots and lots of stuff from other records. I generally like wouldn't just take the one sample from one record and just focus on that. I love to get like loads of different types of shit and just throw it in and tune it all. And say like for this, what would I do? I would pitch it all down and have everything at different pitches and get it, retune it, key it to the way I want, and then get the vibe and snap it all in and just zone out and whip it up. I reckon, yeah, I made that quite, when the fuck did I make that? That was a long time ago. That was 2010, so it's 4 years old, and it's still now, like it still feels fresh to me, which is good. It's sometimes sad when shit gets old and you don't want to play it anymore, but yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite joints. Massive fucking mashup of a shitload of sounds, and just obviously like the roads, like playing it up on the 16 levels. There's one thing I love to do is just to replay shit, get sounds and just replay them, even though just to make it your own basically. Percussion as well for me, like getting a loop and just a kick, a snare and a hat. Just like for me personally, it ain't enough. I need to make like my sound spectrum has to be like a circle. It has to fully facilitate like the the whole room basically. I need like, I always love to throw as much sounds in there, but sometimes shit can just sound like there's just too much going on, and like you gotta find the right place to put shit. Like everything has its perfect place, and like that's what I spend most of my time doing. It is getting the sounds to sound right, but for all the levels to be right obviously, and for things to be set in the right frequency. But it's just always for me about putting things, dropping things in and out at the right place so that it feels everything has its place in the puzzle basically. And that's it for me. Like painting a picture, like you have to have all your layers right, and this is the same for making beats. It ain't just getting a loop, and sometimes it is, sometimes you make the illest fucking shit and you just loop it up and it's killer and you don't need to do anything. But I kind of got bored of that after a while. It was just I needed more, and like and that's it. It's just getting all these sounds to come together right, and just get the beat right basically. This track is untitled So Far, but it's coming from our forthcoming project Colour Point, and it is, I called it Spring Beat, but to me it's like, I can't really explain it. There's just so much shit going on. It's a proper traveller, and it was the first time in a long time. I made this beat sober as well actually. It was the first time where I had to be, same as the beat before, it was the first time that I stopped blazing, and it's a different process for me not blazing and making beats, and that I thought that things would be a lot different, but really what happened was my mind had completely expanded, and instead of feeling like I get caught and lost in the loop, I managed to feel like I could really take even more sounds and put even more shit together and become more of a conductor with it and get my placements right. And just sampled a lot of bait classic samples in this shit actually. Shit. Grover Washington. Bait shit, finesse used. Little shit though. Some horns from this little section. And the drums were a mission. Chop the shit out of it. Just replayed the drums. It's not something sometimes I like to like loop shit up, but it's definitely better to chop it up, just because then you can freak your own shit on it and get your own vibe on it. And this, I'll never forget when I was having my first year at university, I was making beats and ringing Mr. Brown and being like, bruv, how the fuck, Pings was there as well, and I was like, how the fuck do I just do this drum shit, man? They were like, just chop it up. So I spent like hours and hours figuring it all out, and eventually it all came. And then, yeah, that's it, and just got, what else? Sometimes I kind of found that like, you don't always have to chop shit up, so it was like taking this thing here, little string section, reversed it, had it with like loads of delay. I can play it in reverse as well. Just put it back to but always shit just sounds dope in reverse sometimes. You just got to keep on doing different things, and you learn different things and you remember old patterns, and it all just fits into place. That, like, I don't know, definitely, I think a lot of people know me for making real nice beats, nice mellow shit, but I love making horrible music like this that just makes me feel positively on edge and uncomfortable, and like, it's just real simple as well, not too much going on, drum loop, dirty bass, this like strings intro, and like just real simple. I don't know where I got the sample from, I really can't remember. There's the loop. I don't know where I got it from. This is, where's the fuck? This is some soundtrack shit. I'm just trying to real fast. First up. Yeah, to just some horrible shit basically, and just real simple layout for the sample. Bass underneath. It's beats like this that I enjoy to make sometimes, because like I said, I enjoy making real complicated shit, but when you get a loop and it just rocks and you don't have to do fuck all for it, you know, just feel happy, man. It's just like real simple shit. And they definitely are some of the best beats. Some of the best beats, the most simple shit, and that's it really. This is just a joint called Diamonds that I put out this online or whatever, but fingers crossed it's going to come out on a 7-inch, I'm hoping, or on some kind of project soon, real soon, so people can see it. It's definitely something I really love, like a real nice joint. And then I think, is this it? Let me just try and find it a break. Sampled this shit, it's fucked it up. Basically, yeah. This is the end bit there. And then I think I might have pitched it down. Might as it, just replayed, like got the groove out of it. And then replayed the sample. I even add no drums to it, these are the drums in it. And just caught a loop out of it all, and then glued all the loops together and shit. And then just added some brushes. Found this old mama with the diamonds. Real simple. Simple's best. This is how I would compose and put a joint together. So I got this sample.
My eyes are open and I can see that.
Chop the shit out of it. Add all the.
My eyes are open, my eyes are open,
So yeah, we basically got all these samples set up, and I would, if I'm gonna chop a breakup like that, this is where I mainly got drums going on. I filtered the bass out, which I'll show you in a second, and I started with this, and then I will always start with a little intro and a beat, and then drop it to the main thing, switch it, blah blah blah. So this is the intro.
My eyes are open and I can. My eyes are open.
And I drop the drums.
My eyes are open and I can.
Just really simple, bass and a kick off a dusty old loop.
And I can. My eyes are open.
Just in a second, just drop it to the main bit, basically.
My eyes are open.
So I've taken. Show you here. I've got the main. This is with all the fills on. This is the bass. So I've kind of taken the same sample, but just filtered it out to get as warm as possible, and then just replayed the same sample over the top, and got like different versions of the same thing. So I would, here you've got one take of it all, and then kind of simple, but just little different switches. And then for the breakdown or for the the bridge, I would always still try and switch it again. So I'd have it like. Use the where is it? The filter. Sorry. So you've got the filter on there, which is a wicked bit for the MPC. If anyone doesn't know, you've got like the 16 levels. So on the 16 levels, you've got a velocity change where you can fade things out. Then you got the 4 pads, which is always the. It's real good in a case like this. I personally don't really feel that this is somewhere where I would need to change the key or change the notes. I literally just restructured the whole sample. So then, for the bridge sort of thing, I just use that. From high to low. With the bass in it. About it with the drums, really simple. simple. Chopped a kick, chopped a snare out of a break, shitloads of dust in there to make it sound dirty. And then that's it really, just a really simple way of just taking one break, one simple thing and just getting the most out of it basically, as opposed to getting loads of sounds, putting it all together. You can just definitely do that as opposed to just looping shit, as some people like doing, like I said before. Definitely works sometimes, but in this case,
My eyes are open and I can.
just use a lot of different parts from the same song.
My eyes are open and I can. My eyes are open.